to get his thoughts on the Cleveland Browns, to get his thoughts on some of the big NFL storylines. You know him, you love him, from Golic and Golic on FanDuel Sports Network, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern every day. We're watching the rewind here as he's interviewing Brent Rooker. He's also Cleveland's own Mike Golic Sr. now joining us on the Fan Hotline. Mike, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks. So we're going to talk Guardians name change back to Indians, huh?
I mean, I thought we wanted to keep politics out of sports, but I guess that's not true, Mike.
Oh my gosh. I quite honestly, I know they already said they're not changing. I don't see the Commanders going back. I think this is much ado about nothing, actually.
The thing we like about this is it will blow over. Unlike the Browns quarterback situation, Mike, we got a four-way camp battle. How likely is it that we can keep this going up all camp long?
Well, I mean, listen, the best thing for a team to do is know who their starting quarterback is as early as possible, and not have it go too long, because you need a leader in the huddle. I would have a feeling Joe Flacco is going to start the season. Listen, we know 4 quarterbacks aren't going to be on the roster, right? I mean, even if you're going to have 3 for an emergency, if you want to put one on the practice squad, remember they have to be cut, and then they go through 24-hour waivers. So they're not even guaranteed to clear waivers to make it onto the practice team. So it's going to be an interesting scenario.
What does it do for a team if Joe Flacco looks the very best? Like it was reported that he did in the first couple, the mandatory minicamp and the OTAs. He looks the best and then doesn't win the job.
Oh, well, let me tell you, players understand that it's a year-by-year thing. You only have so many years in the league, and you want the best person available for each job. Now, again, every player goes into the year thinking they're going to win. What the analysts think, doesn't really matter, because, again, players are on a limited time basis in the NFL. So they understand if you have to go to a rookie to give him time to see how he develops, but it doesn't mean they like it. They want to win now. What they see, if Flacco was the supposed to be the starter or playing the best, but they played one of the young guys, that believe me, that is noticed, and that's just like, well, okay, we're kind of giving this guy a chance to grow a little bit, and we're part of the growing project. They don't love it, but it's a business, and you understand it.
Mike, it's interesting. I'm a FanDuel guy. Obviously, you work for FanDuel Sports Network, and FanDuel has the Browns at a 5.5 win total on the season. Where do you set? Are you more comfortable taking the over or the under?
Wow. I mean, listen, this team is built for defense, right? I mean, the offense, you don't know who your quarterback is. Obviously, your running back position with Quinshon Jenkins is up in the air a little bit. The defense on paper looked great last year, but was inconsistent. I could see them pulling off 6. If it were over, I don't think it'll be much over, but I think it could possibly be over. But I know a lot of the pundits are going under and saying they'll have the first pick in the draft next year and probably would take another quarterback, which would, boy, what a conversation we could be having a year from now.
Well, if all that's true, how long of a leash do you have for Kevin Stfansky?
Well, I mean, at some point you stop with the trying to develop a quarterback and trying to develop a winning team, be that with Joe Flacco, an older Joe Flacco, or a younger Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel. At some point, you have to start piling up the wins. And, that was a big question mark with Myles Garrett. Do you sign Myles Garrett while they're kind of rebuilding and finding a new quarterback when maybe they're ready to hit the ground running? Myles Garrett is 2 years older, but he's also the best player on the team. And when the best player's in the league, you don't just let a player like that go. And I think eventually they did the right thing to bring him back. But listen, at some point, there's getting rid of players or getting rid of one coach, and we kind of know how that goes. So I think Kevin Stfansky knows that there's going to be kind of his kind of a hot seat this year.
So it's interesting you say that, because I like leader of men coaches, like Mike Vrabel to me. I love that kind of coach, because that's a football guy to me. Kevin doesn't have that personality, but he's a hell of a schemer. Sorry, play schemer. I don't mean like he's a like Machiavellian figure here.
I know you.
I'm just like, how do you, because I'm so close to it that I'm probably too critical of Kevin. How do you kind of assess where Kevin is going into year 6 as a head coach?
I've always liked Kevin Stfansky. I absolutely love him as a coach, but it's a results driven business, right? And especially nowadays, I mean, to get 6 years, that's pretty impressive. Obviously, you have your John Harbaughs and your Mike Tomlins who've been at it for like 18 years, but we see the turnaround. What Tepper does in Carolina, he's paying 2 or 3 fired coaches. You see quicker turnaround. So Stefanski's actually lasted a pretty long time. Again, I like him as a coach. I really do. But at some point, you have to look at productivity on the field and hold somebody accountable. And the head coach knows that they're the ones held accountable.
Is Myles Garrett the best defensive player in the game?
I mean, listen, he's in the team picture. I put it that way. You have T.J. Watt. You have Micah Parsons. I mean, you have some great edge rushers and defensive players. So I would say upper echelon team picture of 3. I would say probably without question the best big body in the league. I mean, I would never wear a shirt if I were him, ever. I wouldn't own a shirt if I were him. I would walk everywhere bare chested.
That's pretty much what he does. So I'm glad.
Yeah. Good on him. Good on him.
Mike Golic Sr. on the fan hotline here as we get you ready for Browns camp. So Myles gets the extension after requesting the trade. TJ Watt gets an extension plus $1 million per year over Myles' contract, and there was talk that they could trade him. Did both teams make the right decision in paying a 29-year-old and a 31-year-old edge rusher $40 million a year?
Yeah, I think they did. I mean, listen, are they on the back half of their career? Yes. Are they on the 17th or 18th hole? No. I still think they have a good back nine and a very productive back nine. And we know for edge rushers and wide receivers, that's a going rate, 35 million up. You look at Danielle Hunter and Max Crosby. Trey Hendrickson's going to get that. Micah Parsons will probably be the highest paid edge guy in the league once Jerry Jones decides to pay late and pay more like he normally does. But yeah, I think you have to. You want to. Now, I don't know about Cleveland winning now. Pittsburgh is loading up to win now with Aaron at quarterback. You don't get rid of your best player on the team if you're looking to do that. You sign him, even though it's going to be a heck of a cap hit. And I think for Cleveland, listen, I understand kind of the rebuilding and reshuffling, but if you have arguably the best player in the league and you let him go, I mean, what does that signal to the fans? I mean, you are really just absolutely positively starting over if you do that.
Do you think that Shedeur Sanders will see the field this year?
Yeah, it's interesting. My son Mike thought he would not see the field, and quite honestly, it would mean a better season for the Browns if he doesn't. That would mean Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett is getting the job done as veteran quarterback. So, as a fan, you hope he or Dylan Gabriel don't see the field. It will be interesting if he does, when he does, because that's what, if you see at some point 6, 7, 8 games into the season, it's not working well, then quite honestly, you want to get the young guys in. As long as they're not, kind of gaze off in the distance in practice, as long as they're practicing well enough, and you can tell a decent amount in practice to put them on the field where you can trust them. If 6, 7, 8 games into the season, it's not going well, then I've always been a fan of get some guys some reps, get his nose bled a little bit, get him knocked down a little bit and get him to learn on the fly. But hopefully for Browns fans and Browns players, you won't have to put a rookie on the field.
Mike, you've always been an incredibly fair guy. And you're somebody that, your career began in the mid-'80s. You played till the mid-'90s. You've had this illustrious, 25-plus year media career. And so I look at Shedeur and I see the first social media quarterback. That's meaning like he is as famous for being on social media as he is for being a really great college quarterback. As you kind of think about your own experience in media and how do you view Shedeur in this prominence of social media quarterbacks and kind of the two mixes of it?
So, it's kind of like how college went to NIL and the portal, and it's like the wild, wild west. And years ago, I would have thought this about it or that about it, or maybe complained about this or that, not about players getting money. I'm glad they're getting money, but just the process and just how the NCAA stepped away from it, and the adults in the room aren't doing what's right. But as I've gotten older, I realize this is the way it is. This is the new normal. The portal, NIL, social media players, social media athletes. This is where we are. So there's no sense in me being that old guy on the porch with the hose spraying somebody saying, get off my lawn. This is where we are. This is players being social media stars. This is players having podcasts. This is players breaking their own news. This is where we are. Love them or hate them. This is this is the direction pro sports and anybody listening to the show is, I'm sure, a sports fan. This is where athletes are going now. This is now becoming the norm. So my thought is, it's not going back. It's only going forward. So you may not like it, but you learn to deal with it.
Yeah, and I don't know why anybody would, at the heart of it, hate it. Like to me, I just look at it like it's a hobby, and they have fun with it, and they make a little cash on the side. What's the big deal?
Here's the thing. Right. If they make I don't begrudge anybody making, because they do something on social media and somebody wants to pay them for it. Who the hell wouldn't like that? I could never complain about Shedeur or anybody making money when somebody else wants to give you money. And by the way, it has zero to do with if you're getting on the field or not. That's talent driven. That's going to be, are you ready to be on the field, and are you good enough to be on the field? That's what's going to make Shedeur Sanders a successful quarterback or not. What he does on the field, not what he does on social media. But what people do is they draw their opinion about somebody from social media. Back in the day when I played, you got to know a player when he was on the news or something, all right, or did an appearance, and that was it. Now, players are out there all the time on social media, so people feel like they know them more or get to know them more and form an opinion of them more, whether they like them or they don't like them. But bottom line, to the sport they play in, having a couple million social media followers doesn't put you on the field. Your talent puts you on the field.
Mike, it's been kind of a relatively tame, even keel NFL offseason. We don't get those too much, but the last time we saw NFL football, it was Eagles over the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. What storylines interest you the most ahead of this NFL season?
I think one of the biggest ones is where the Cincinnati Bengals fit in. They spent all this money on offense and have one of the best offenses in the league and have a horrible defense. But you have the leading sacker the last 2 years in Trey Hendrickson, who you're not getting a deal done with. You have your first-round pick edge rusher, who's officially a holdout. You're not getting a deal done with. The Bengals are bungling, quite honestly. They are wasting a Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins-led offense into what they can do. Lou Anarumo, the D coordinator, everybody thought he was going to be a head coach. He ends up getting fired. They bring in Al Golden, and Al Golden's got to be going, what the hell are you giving me here? You got our first rounder holding out, and we don't even know if our best defensive player is going to play. So this is a team that's on the clock. So that's one of the things I'm looking forward to. And another, can anybody catch Kansas City, not in the all AFC, because we know that's Buffalo and Baltimore, but in the AFC West, are Denver and the Chargers, I probably wouldn't put the Raiders in it yet, are Denver and the Chargers ready to kind of make a move? There were 3 double-digit win teams in the AFC West last year. And can Denver and the Chargers actually challenge the Chiefs this year? Those are just a couple of things I'm looking at.
Mike, the Nick Saban conversation just hasn't really died down from last week. Greg McElroy last week saying that he thought he'd get back into coaching, and the rumored team attached to this now, if he does the NFL, is the Browns. Do you feel like there's a possibility that Nick Saban would be enticed if, let's say, the Browns got Arch Manning or something like that next year in coming back and being the head coach here?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm not saying it because of the Browns. I'm saying I do not think he comes back to coach and comes back to coach in the NFL. Why not just go back to college where you were highly successful, because it's kind of run like an NFL team now. colleges have GMs, colleges have revenue sharing, colleges have NIL. One of the biggest differences, a college player is basically a free agent every year, unlike the NFL. But that's where he was most successful, and it's more like the NFL than it's ever been, which quite honestly is kind of one of the reasons he left, because of all the movement. But I think they need more kind of guidelines in college. But I absolutely do not see him coaching in the NFL.
Mike, it is so great to catch up with you, man. You're always so genuine and nice, not just on air, but because that just makes you good at radio, but off air as well. We appreciate your time. Always good talking to a Cleveland boy, and keep killing it on Golic. You guys do a great job.
Thanks. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Mike Golic there. Mike Golic Sr. on the Fan Hotline.